This is where we left off from last demo, but we need to create a new file called my.js.js file. This is the JavaScript file we are going to write. Again, we are using Notepad, so nothing fancy here. Okay, after you create this file, let's add this line to the HTML page to tell the browser to link to this JavaScript file when the web page gets loaded. Let's write the line in the head section, in the head element. Now let's add the attribute ID to all the text boxes. You can keep the name attribute if you want, but you need to add the ID attribute because we are going to talk about it later, and this is the only way we can refer to which text box we are talking about. This is important, so please make sure you have the ID attribute in place before going forward with the demo. The email is not required, so I'm removing it. Okay, this one has ID already, so that's good. And let's hit save. Okay, so we just created the new JavaScript file, and we need these 3 steps to complete our assignment. But there are 2 things we needed to do on the JavaScript file. In order to do the validation for the text boxes, we need to get the value of text box in order to determine whether it's empty or filled by the user. So how do we get the value of the text box? From a common sense we learned previously, we should be able to get it by something like this. First name text box dot value. However, we are unable to get it directly, so we need a workaround. The main thing that we know is that the HTML code page, which contains all these text boxes. Fortunately, the HTML code page is a document, and it is actually an object in the JavaScript called document. This means that in order to get the desired text box, we can ask the document object with this action. Document.getElementById. So it looks like if we supply the ID of the text box element, it will give us or return us the text box object. Like this. Document.getElementById of first name, assigned to the variable var firstName text box. Then to get the value, we simply set .value, like firstName text box .value is the value inside the text box. About the equal sign we use here. In programming world, the equal sign has a meaning of assigned to. It's similar to our algebra math, where instead of saying some variable x equal 21, we said x is being assigned with a value of 21. So the whole statement of document.getElementById firstName is assigned or become that variable. So we use var to denote that firstName is a variable or an object in the programming terminology. So we just finished step number 1 on JavaScript, and now we need to do step number 2, where we need to create an action on the JavaScript file so the submit button can be called from the HTML page. Here is how we create or define a function in JavaScript by using the open and close curly brackets to define the action, and everything within the code block is the description of the action. Let's do the coding together for this step.